Hi everyone. In this video, I'd like to show you guys how to create a Pro Tools session. So after you set everything up, all of the equipment, just once again, double check your room, make sure there's no weird noise going on, and turn off the light if necessary. Sometimes, those light bulbs, especially those old light bulbs, might create some weird noise. And now let's just set up a Pro Tools session. Just based on my experience, sometimes when you're doing those remote sessions, they might give you a complete Pro Tools session, and then you can just record it right away. But sometimes you only get audio files and MIDI files and maybe your part in PDF, and then you need to create a session by yourself. So in this video, I'm just gonna like to walk you through how I set up a session. So firstly, open up your Pro Tools. And after the loading screen, you should get a dashboard like this. If it didn't appear, just press Command N, and then it should be up here. And then so firstly, let's do the naming. In this case, oh, by the way, here's the file I'm gonna use. So in this case, the session called M62 version 8, and then press local storage. And the file type should be bwf.wave and 48 kHz, and the bit depth should be 24-bit. And IO setting you can just leave it default because we're gonna change it later. And then make sure select the bottom one, and then click the location you can you can set that to whatever you want to save your Pro Tools session. And then let's click create. And then there's an empty session that's about to pop up. Oh, by the way, before we start, I just like to let's just go through what kind of file I have. So inside the folder, I got a file ended with MID, which is a MIDI file. This is the file usually contain meter changes and the tempo information. And depends on different composers. Sometimes they give you a file called SMF, which is aka standard MIDI file, which is a MIDI file contain nothing but meter changes or tempo. But sometimes depends on different composers. Sometimes they might just drop you the entire MIDI file, which is each tracks contain an individual instrument. That kind of file usually just bounce directly from their composing tool. So in this case, I'll also show you how to delete them after you import them into the Pro Tools. And then the second folder I got is a folder called Stamps, which is a bunch of audio files. And usually they were grouped by instruments. So you often see something like winds high, winds low, brass, string high, string low, percussion, harp, piano, sound effects, synthesizer, etc. In this case, I have a very simple stem, only strings, low and high, and horn, and the bass, and the bass synthesizer. And the last thing I have is a click track. So here we go. After you click, you got an empty session. So before you start, let's once again double check the setting. So firstly, go to your playback engine, and make sure you have your audio interface selected. Sometimes computer default goes to the built-in output, but make sure you do that. And then make sure you select, the buffer size should be 256, 512. If your computer getting super laggy during the recording, you can increase that. And then you can leave the rest of it over there and press OK. The second thing you want to do is go to the setup IO. IO stands for input and output. If you create your session from your laptop, it should be fine. But just in case if you ever get any Pro Tools session from other people, since they might have different device audio interface or any kind of equipment setup than yours. So the IO might be different. So all you need to do is just select all of them and delete it and press default. Same thing with output. Select delete default and press OK, and you should be good to go. So the first thing you want to do is import your MIDI file. So this is how a standard MIDI file looks like. So after you click that, so File, Import MIDI, you see MIDI import option. and you check and make sure you check this one MIDI import tempo map from MIDI file. And this is how a standard MIDI track looks like. It's empty here, and then you got your like tempo. Sometimes if they have tempo change, it might look like here, and then you see all the meter change here. And by the way, just a quick keystroke. If you have the keyboard focus mode on, you can press R and T to quick zoom in and zoom out. But however, in this case, I also like to show you guys just sometimes, if you get like a MIDI file from the composer, if the composer don't have enough time to make a separate standard MIDI file, they might just throw you in, like they might just bounce the MIDI, the MIDI file directly from their session, and this is how they might look like. Let me just reopen this, and then once again, make sure you import a tempo, very important. And then you see this time, you got loads of tracks, which you don't need them at all, because all you need is the tempo and the meter change. So what you need to do is you just want to delete all of them. You see right now all of the tracks are highlighted, so just hold Option and left click. You select them first, and then all you want to do is delete the first track and delete the rest of them. So select the second one and hold Shift and select the last one. So what Shift does in Pro Tools is basically select everything between the first one and the last one, and right click delete. And you should be good to go. And by the way, you don't need to worry about any of those, because this is a MIDI file, it won't make any sound at all. And then you can double click the track, just rename it in case it confuses you, MIDI. And then, by the way, also make sure your toolbars just move your cursor to here. The default should be here, but you can just by pressing the ESC, escape, I'll just press here, the upper corner here, select this one, and you can see your cursor looks different, depends on where you are. So go to the bottom and right click. You can also rename this region as well. It's called the MIDI file. And then you want to go to setup session. So you want to change your session start to instead of an hour, maybe just for me, I always change the session start to 0 hour and 50 minutes. And you might want to see this when it pops up, click maintain time code. 50. Again, maintain time code. Oh, by the way, just press enter. So I'll just go back to the beginning. Now you see like it stayed the same thing, but you got extra 10 minutes here, just in case if you ever want to put anything before bar 1. For instance, if you want to have a click track, you definitely need to put the click track before bar 1. So here we go. And then the second thing you want to do is import all of the audio stems. So you just same thing, you go to File, Import, and press, instead of this time MIDI, you press Audio. And then you can just choose the browser, the browser, and just select all of the stems you want. Again, click and hold Shift and click the last one, and click Add. So, by the way, the difference between add and copy is add, it will just read the file. Read the file directly from the folder, and then but if you choose copy, it will actually copy all of the file into your Pro Tools session, which in most of the case, you want to do add, because you don't. Otherwise, you will copy all of the WAV file over to your Pro Tools directory, and it will make the file a lot bigger. And in the ideal scenario, in most of the case, I think all the WAV file they are going to have a same sample rate than your session. If not, first, the composer clearly not doing his job. But secondly, what you can do is, instead of here, you might see add, it will say convert, and Pro Tools will automatically convert whatever the audio audio file you have and convert it into 48K Hertz sample rate. And let's select down. You see this little window pops up. Select new and actual location. Instead of session start, let's select sound start and press OK. And you see all of the tracks are here. And by the way, you might want to just rename them if the name was not named properly. And the second thing you want to do is you see right now all of the output, they were gray, which means they're actually, and by the way, just on Pro Tools, if you hit spacebar, it'll play. And right now I don't hear anything from my headphone because I set up the wrong output. So all I need to do is I just left hold it and select the right output. In this case, I need to select this one, the output 1 and 2. And by the way, just instead of select them each of them, all you need to do is hold Shift and Option, and then just here, and you see all of them. So what does Option do in Pro Tools is it will for instance, if I click S, here means solo. If I only click that without Option, it will only solo this track. But if I hold Option and click, it will solo all of the track. And Shift means Shift means just, that's what I mentioned, select. So if we do Shift and Option, it will apply the same changes to all of the track which is currently has been selected. And by the way, here's a little tip, but also just make sure you hold Shift, because otherwise if you only hold Option, let's say select 1, you see it's gonna apply to all of the track, even though it's the track you unselect, which you certainly do not want. Just always make sure press Shift and Option and output. Now you should be able to hear all of them. And by the way, so what if for instance I want output 1 on this track and output 2 on this track, output 3 on this track? All you need to do is press Shift, Option, and Command. So Command will do is, instead of doing all the same thing, they're gonna do in order. So let's try it. You see, it will do 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. until you run out of your output and gonna start over again. So now, oh sorry, I select the wrong output. There we go. And now you wanna import your click track. So let's do it again. So import audio. And this time, instead of going to the audio stem, let's go to the clicks. And then just, oh, by the way, this is, you see, the MP3 is in 44.1. This one is 48, so all you need to do is just press Convert and press OK. And then this window asks you where you want me to save this audio file. Just press Open. And again, I ask you the same thing. Always make sure it's sound start until session start. Press OK. But also be aware that since click track, oftentimes you need some pre-click. So it depends on what the composer write on the part. For instance, if I say 4 clicks to bar 1, so you want to start a click at bar 0, so simply just move here. Oh, by the way, here's some mode. So you don't use shuffle mode a lot. What you usually use is the slit mode and the grid mode. The slit mode allows you to adjust the click to any position you want, and grid, it means you can only move the audio to a certain grid. And look at here, you can actually change how big the grid is. In this case, I want a quarter note. So, oh sorry, I mean this one. So you see now it's 4/4. So 4 clicks to bar 1, start from bar 0. Oh, 8 clicks to bar 1, so start from bar -1. And once again, after you import your click track, double check the output. You see right now it's gray, which means it's to the wrong output. Now here we go. Oh, by the way, just in some case, if you don't get a click track, don't be panicked. You can also create your own click track. Just go to Track, create click track. And by press this little thing, click 2, you see this little window pops up. And then you can just also change the sound of the click. The default, the standard you might want to use is a UREI click without accent. So click 1 is the downbeat, and then this is, and then this is the upper beat. Here we go. And then upper here, you can change your tempo, or you can double click here to change your tempo. But usually, the standard MIDI file actually set everything up for you. So after we have everything ready, and then adjust, the volume in your headphone. And then, for instance, if I'm a violin player, I don't want to hear the high string. All I need to do is just press this M. It will mute this track, but the other track will also play it. The second thing, after I import all of the tempo, the audio stem, and the click, but you might want to move it around. And also you can color it. Just press this thing. Just keep things organized. Maybe I'll assign the click track a blue and the stem to a green. So you can also just press Command G to group your audio stem. So let's just say stems. You can leave everything on default. And then the good thing about group is you don't need to do the whole thing about shift option or whatever. You just simply press. And then if you want to do something individually with the track, you can just deselect the group. Okay, so far we have the tempo map, the meter, which is the MIDI file, and then we import all of the audio stem as well as the click track. Now I like to create an audio track for my microphones. So what you can do is you go to Pro Tools and new track, or the shortcut is Shift Command N. You see this little window pops up. Create one mono track, and then unless you have a stereo microphone, or you're recording in stereo, which is 2 microphones, otherwise you will always want one mono audio track, and then click create, and then let's name it. For instance, I have a microphone called, I don't know, something like ABC123. And then you can tell them what kind of instrument it is. Oh, I actually have to do this way. So violin 1, and maybe your initial. And then under comments, you can tell them I use ABC123 mic, and then press OK. And then you always want to just double check your input. So for instance, if your microphone connects to input 1, select input 1. And the output should be your audio interface output. And once again, make sure if you have a condenser mic, turn on your phantom power. If you have a rhythm mic or dynamic mic, do not turn off the rhythm mic. Do not turn on your phantom power unless you have an active rhythm mic. And then you can actually press this I thing. And then you can just, maybe clap or play something in front of your microphone. And as what I mentioned in the previous video, good thing is always check your level before recording. And in this case, you just want to maybe play the loudest part of the cue in front of the microphone at a position, where you normally, usually record, and just test the level. If the level, between yellow and green should be good to go, but never reach the red. And then once everything's ready, just press this thing, which is the record enable. And then if you have a keyboard, just press on the number pad 3, it should start rolling. Or you can do, if you don't have the keyboard, if you have a laptop, all you need to do is just go to here, the upper right, and record enable. Let's start from my -3 bar -3, and then just press spacebar. It will start recorded. and then you'll hear the clicks, and then let the piece start. And after let's say I want to pause after I just finish a run, I want to start it. I want to stop it. So I just simply press spacebar again. Okay, at this point we're pretty much ready to recording, and in the next video I'm also going to show you guys some tricks about doing playlists and overdub and how to edit yourself, how to do some quick editing. Okay, now I like to just illustrate another example. For instance, what if the composer already made a Pro Tools session for you, and what you gotta do, and then some question you might run into it. Give me 1 second. So first thing, you open up other people's session. Usually you see this session no. They have a bunch of error message. Just press no, and you'll probably see this giant session. You have no idea what's going on, but don't be panic. You'll be fine. Just press Command equal. Go back to the main menu. Just look through it. So it seems like they have the click track on. Okay, so this is. Okay, make sure this keyboard focus again. It's on again. Otherwise, the RT zoom in and out thing won't work. So this is the fourth note. Seems like, and then this is the click eighth, and then you can see the advantage of coloring the group. Also, you might want to ungroup everything. You can enable the group later on, but just for now. And here's the reference track. Usually I'll also make sure you change the tool to this. And to grid, okay, very good. This is usually the mockup, full mockup with everything in it. And by the way, so for instance, you want to hear this, but why is it's all great? Because this track is inactive. All you need to do is just right click, make active, and then you set up the right output. It should be fine. Oh, by the way, before you do that, sorry, I forgot it. You need to go to I/O. That's what I did. Just delete every existing I/O and do default. Same thing as input. Go to default. Okay. And now, for instance, you want everything, so just select from the first one to the last one, and then do Shift Option, change output to output 1 and 2, which is my actual output. Oh, very good. And then now, since for now we don't want any input yet, so let's just do the same thing. Let's select all of them to no input. Now let's just have a listen of this piece. And then, okay, we figure out this is the click. All I want is a click and quarter note. And I might don't want to hear this mockup during recording. And I'm a string player, so I don't maybe want to hear the string mockup. So maybe only winds and brass. Okay. Now I see. So for instance, I'm a violin 1 player, so I don't need those tracks at all. But I don't want to delete them either. All you need to do is just select from flute 1, hold shift to tuba 1, and just right click, hide and make inactive. You see they disappear from the session, but I actually didn't delete them from the session because they're all here. They're just inactive, and I hide them. Same thing with maybe I want to hide violin 2 to double bass. Or maybe you're doing a double, so maybe just hide the viola to the contrabass, hide and make inactive. Cool. Now, so since I'm maybe doing violin 1, so my mic is again ABC 1 2 3. Same thing, ABC 1 2 3, and maybe you might want to put your name on it. NTW, NTW, NTW. Now you want to set up the input. For instance, if you have 3 different microphones for each part, so you might want to do, again, the trick we had. Remember the trick we learned? So Shift and hold, and then Shift Option Command. Let's do interface, so you can see inputs 1 2 3. Or maybe I only have 1 microphone. All I want to do is Shift Option and input 1. Here we go. And then maybe I want to do the first track first. I mean, I want to do violin 1 first. So before you start, test your mic. Oh, sorry, I mean press the I. This is like the input monitor. So you'll enable to hear anything the microphone captured, but it actually not being recorded. And once you're ready to record, click the record enable and just start rolling. You can either, press the numpad 3 or just press this and press spacebar. And you want to do that, and maybe the double. I mean, if you want to do a double, so maybe just disable the record enable for violin 1 and record enable for violin 2A, and do the same thing. And then if you don't want to hear yourself, just mute this track. So that's pretty much how you just work. That's how you. This is just a really brief video about like showing you how you working on like a Pro Tools session which was made by someone else. Okay, I think this is pretty much for this video, and I wanna apologize. I can't remember how many mistakes I made during the video. I actually wrote a short script, but but there's just a lot of stuff, and I constantly made a lot of mistakes and screw up. So please, feel free to let me know if there's any part you feel unclear, and then feel free to email me for any individual question. I would love to help you. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoy it.